I turned Mario into an epic 3D battle royale. Nintendo has made 3D Mario games like Mario Odyssey, but that's still a platformer game. I wanted to see what would happen if I mixed genres and made Mario into a battle royale like Fortnite. That's why I decided to make my own 3D Mario game and then turn it into a battle royale. So if anyone was gonna make a good Mario game, first they needed Mario. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen any of my videos before, but I'm not the best at 3D modeling. So I decided to go online and find a 3D model someone else had made. This model looks really good, so I imported it into Unity. Then I went into Mixamo and I downloaded some animations for Mario. One for him running and one for him standing still. Then I gave it some movement code, and once I put it all together, it was starting to look pretty good. I did have to make the jump animation myself, so that's why it looks a little rough, but it gets better later. Anyways, speaking of things looking bad, the world doesn't look like a Mario game right now. So after I took some inspiration, I decided to start by drawing a new skybox for the world, which is much brighter and more vibrant. Then I got some post-processing effects to make the game pop even more. This is just like the cartoon style of the Mario games. Then with that change, I got it from looking like this to this. I think it's a really good change, and it's already starting to make it feel like a real Nintendo game. After that, I wanted to start working on the enemies. Now, since I didn't know how to make a multiplayer game, I'm just going to make all the enemies a type of AI, which I'll explain later. But be sure to leave a comment if you think I should turn it into a multiplayer game. Anyways, I started on the enemies by duplicating the model for the player. Now, the way I want the enemies to work is when you jump on their heads, you can defeat them. But as you can see, nothing happens when you actually jump on their head. So the first thing I did for that was making it so the enemies disappear. Then I made it so if you defeated one of them, you get a boost in the air and it helps you chain together combos. This works fine and all, but I feel like it's missing good feedback. So I created this particle system of red Mario bits flying apart when you jump on your head. By the way, no Marios were harmed in the filming of this video. Anyways, now with all that together, I set up this little map full of Marios just to get a feel for how it is to jump on their heads, and I actually really liked how it works. Next up, we need a map. I started by making the floor green, then I created these walls that will surround it to keep you from falling out of the world. I also created this brick wall texture for the wall that fits the Mario vibe. Then I found this model for the bricks and I scattered them around the map to make it feel more interesting, and have some obstacles and things to run around. That's pretty much everything I wanted to do for the map. I want to keep it simple so you can focus on running around and fighting the other Marios. By the way, I'm a small channel with 2,000 subscribers and my goal is to get 5,000 before I graduate high school, so please subscribe. Anyways, next we need to actually start working on the AI for the enemies. Now, I'm using that word AI very loosely because this is not really an AI. See, when people think of AI, they think of something making decisions on its own, like ChatGPT, but I'm using a system of states for the AI, making it really dumb. Basically, the way this is going to work is by having an attack state and a running away state. When it's in the attacking state, it'll be running around trying to defeat the other Marios. Then when it's in the running away state, it'll be running to random points around the map. That running state was the first thing I wanted to work on. It was pretty simple, and I started by making them face towards a random spot and then move towards it. Then for the attacking state, I did the same thing by making them face towards a different player and then move towards it. Then when it gets close enough, it'll try and jump and defeat the other Marios. I also made it so it will randomly switch between the different states to keep the game interesting. Then if you're being chased by one and you get close to jumping on their heads, they'll switch to the running state and run away from you. That was pretty much everything for the main mechanics of the AI. Then I synced it up for the animations. I think it's looking pretty good. For some reason, when I put the animations on it, it's starting to look a little cursed, but I like how it looks. So now I could have just ended the game here because everything works, but I thought, what is a Mario game without power-ups? I decided that I wanted to be a fireball power-up for Mario to be able to pick up, so I started by finding a question mark block and then I set up the mechanics for when you jump into it. The way this will work is whenever you jump into one of these blocks, Mario's outfit will change to Fire Mario and you'll be given 3 fireballs to throw. Then I created the object for the fireball, which is a red ball with a trail behind it, and I set it up so whenever you press F, you'll be able to throw the fireball. Next, I found this animation in Mixamo for actually throwing the fireball, and I got it all working in game. This is all working really good for the player, so then I copied it for the enemies, and whenever they're underneath a question mark block, they'll jump, giving them the power up. Then when they're in their attack state, they'll be on a random timer to throw the fireball at the target. Finally, I made it so whenever anyone runs into one of the blocks, it'll create a particle system and move the block somewhere else. The reason I made it move the block is because I wanted there to always be the same amount of blocks on the map at once. Then finally, I created some UI that just shows how many players are left and how many kills you have. Then with all that done, let's try out the game. Alright, here we go, dropping down with all the other Marios. into the map. I get that fireball right away. Try and take that guy out. Try and make sure I don't hit myself with those fireballs. Some are still dropping in. Stealing that power-up block. Getting him out of here. Trying to catch that guy. Oh, just barely missed. Get that crowd. Oh, okay, there we go. We're up to 5 kills. Looks like they're taking each other out. Try and jump. There we go. Getting one. Uh-oh, he's coming for me. There we go. 1v1. See if we can do it. We each have the fireball, though. That kind of scares me. Might do a trick shot on me or something. Gotta wait. Oh, he's running away. Oh! Oh my! So, that's how I made Mario into a 3D Battle Royale. I'm not going to release this game because I might get in trouble, but if you enjoyed this video, go subscribe and check out how I made a platformer game but with zero gravity.